Hello! So in this video we are going to be making the pattern block or sloper, whichever you call it. It is going to be broken up into two videos because as one video it's too long. And as I've mentioned before, I learn faster if things are in smaller bites. So I'm not going to make you wait a week between videos. These will both be posted on the same day, but just separate videos. As well, there is going to be a blog post over on Patreon, and then I'll have additional information and close-ups of the steps that I'm going through, in case you're somebody that needs the actual close-ups. So we're going to start with the back, and then the next video will be the front. So let's get making it! For the next part, which is going to be the pattern blocks, you're going to need, I would have a sharpener handy because you do want that pencil to remain sharp to get through the holes, and an eraser for your pencil because sometimes we have to erase something, and I would have some kind of a felt tip marker. It just helps mark things so they stand out more. You're also going to need your measurements, and from the booklet there is a page, it's page 2, and it's the instructions for drafting the dress foundation. Also coat sleeves, but we're not doing that today, and we're going to be using these two sections here to draft the two pieces. As well, we're going to need the templates, and you're going to need Bristol board or poster board, depending on what you call it. And the end result that we're trying to get to is going to be these. So those are going to be your pieces, and also keep in mind when you make these two pieces, they do look a bit smaller maybe than a regular pattern piece. That's because the seam allowance is not on these blocks. You're going to add the seam allowance to your pattern pieces later. So these are just your pattern blocks to work from. So let's get started. I just realized I forgot to tell you about a couple more things you need to punch holes for, which are very important because you're going to need them with the instructions. You're going to see something that says dot A. This is the front piece, by the way. You're going to want to punch that hole. There's a dot 1, but in my case it's the same as 14. If yours is one of the other measurements, you're going to punch that hole. There's a C, which is where the arrow is pointing. There's a B, a dot B, but that's where the arrow is pointing, so you're going to use that. The dot 2 on the back, it's going to be similar. There's a dot A. So go through and make sure you're punching the holes for those. The sleeve, you got to punch a hole here. Dot B is the arrow. Dot 3 is this here. So we're going to start with the back. And the very first instruction says, place the chart on the paper with the long edge towards you and the left edge on the edge of the paper. So this is the left-hand side. The next instruction is make a dot at neck dot A. So this is neck dot A. Hopefully my body's not in the way. Okay, you should be able to see that. Just always check to make sure that your drawing went through. Also, you should label them as you're doing it. My apologies. So, I think I might be in the way here, but put dot A. Then the next one you're going to do is dot B, which is down here, which is this arrow. And when you're lifting this up, press down with your hand so you're not accidentally shifting the template. Always keep checking to make sure things are lined up. Next is saying do neck measurement. So in my case, it was 15, or sorry, 14, not 15. Which the numbering is off slightly, so you're going to notice that about the template too. Hopefully my head is not in the way. Okay, so, and I'm just going to mark that neck. And then next you're going to do the shoulder measurement. I was a 6. And then what I usually do afterwards is I go back and I just mark things with the felt tip marker. That's why I suggested having one. Okay, and then next you're going to do bust measurement. So I am 44. So then we're going to use the template as our drawing for drawing lines. So next would be, the next instruction is draw a straight line. So let's pull this out of the way. Where am I here? Sorry. Draw a straight line from dot A through dot B. So dot A is up here, dot B is down here. Hopefully my head is not in the way. All right, there we are. Next is draw shoulder line from dot 1 to dot 2. So, my apologies, I missed this when we were labeling. So, with the measurements here, so neck measurement, you're supposed to mark it as 1, and shoulder is supposed to be marked as number 2, dot 2. I apologize for that, but glad I caught it now. And the bust measurement is supposed to be marked as dot 3. Let's add those in there. It's been a long time since I've made this template, and my pattern block, so I do apologize, but I'm going to try to remember to make sure that information is there next time. Okay, so the next one is to draw a shoulder line from dot 1 to dot 2. Dot 1, dot 2. Okay, there we go. Dot 1, dot 2. And like on my other one, you know, I've used the black marker just because it shows up. So what I'm going to do later is I'm going to go back over everything with the marker. And also just to show you, you know, so we know where we're at here. You can see that things are lining up. Okay, next instruction is, for the neck curve, turn the chart over to the front and place curved arrow on dot 1 and draw to dot A. So curved arrow, let's do it this way. So I have to move things around here. So curved arrow. So you're supposed to place it on dot 1, and then you're supposed to, here, just line it up a bit, and you're gonna draw the line. Whoops. Oh, that's very crooked, and this is why you have an eraser. Also, it's kind of awkward right now. Let's try this again. Actually, I'm gonna just do it a little bit lighter. So the next one we're going to do is the armhole curve. So for this, you're going to place F. So F is going to be on the front piece. Front piece, this is F. So for the armhole, we're going to go this way. Okay, so the next instruction is with F. We're going to place that on bust dot 3, which is right here. And you're going to make sure that this is lined up over here, right? Yep. And then with this blue section to your left, you're going to use the curve. You're going to use the curve and follow the template around, back around to F, which is going to be that dot. See? So then now, it's starting to make sense now, right? It's starting to look like a pattern piece. So now, right? Oops. Okay. I know you're not going to have this piece to reference to, but I just wanted to show you just so that you're starting to see that joining the dots is starting to bring out the shape. Okay, so we've done that. Now, the next thing we're going to do, and it says now, actually there is a little note here, so let me just read the note before we go on. For bust measurement 40 inch and over, which is me, if you are below, you're not going to follow this instruction. For bust measurement 40 inch and over, place arrow H, which is here. This is arrow H. On dot 3 and draw to dot 2. H on dot 3. And we're gonna move this over, so just keep this lined up here, move it over, line it up with dot 2, because this is gonna change the arm side, armhole shape a bit, just ever so slightly. Okay, we're lined up, and we're just gonna draw. If you have pattern weights, this might help hold this piece, the template in, oops, I went too far, in place. I mean, might not, because I know that Bristol board can be a bit slippery, so I just went too far there. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is, because we're going to remove this piece here, I'm just going to use the marker. I'm just going to go over this again. The final part, the final lines, I'm going to go over later with the black marker so that I know those are the final lines. However, I'm not going to do it for everything because, again, I don't want to get black all over my hands. But this one is important because I don't want to forget that that is the new line. And then the next step, and that is in fine print too. It is in smaller print, so pay attention. That does come up occasionally where you're going to see smaller print. So just pay attention to that. Okay, so the next one is now mark 1/2 inch shoulder raise and 1/4 inch extension at dot 2 and draw the lines as shown on diagram. Now coming up, you are going to have to start referring for the rest of this, or most of the rest of this. There are diagrams. So for the dress foundation, we're not doing the sleeve where it is. We're not doing the sleeve right now. We're just doing the dress. The bust of the dress. We're not doing the skirt part. So I don't know if, on yours you'll see. So you're going to come up 1/2 inch, out 1/4 inch. So up 1/2 inch, out 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch. And the ruler on here, I have checked it against an actual ruler, and it does in fact match. So, and you're going to do these measurements at the shoulder dot 2. Okay? So we're going to go up where are we here? Up 1/2 inch. Right? That's pretty close. And out just 1/4 inch. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line. Where's my, yep. You're going to draw a line from dot 1 to the 1/2 inch up. Put this down a bit, I don't know if you can see that or not. See that? And then we're going to get those to meet. I'm just using this template that you drew this line with, just you're going to use it to draw that new line. You're going to keep H in place here the best that you can. Like, just please try to keep the arrow on that dot. And then again, I'm just going to use my marker to draw this new line. Actually, I'm going to use well, no, I'm just going to use this marker. Because I forgot this is not the new line. This is the new line. Again, as I said, I haven't had to do this template in a long time. Okay, there we go. So this is the new line. So you're going to cut this one out when you cut out the pattern block. Okay, for the hip line, you're going to need the back part again. For the hip line, turn the chart over to the back, which we have now. Place corner 6 to dot 3. So this is, where is dot 3? Dot 3 and corner 6 is right here. Okay, so you're gonna place that and you're gonna measure down 13 inches and make a dot. Try to make sure that this is as straight as possible. Yeah, so here's 13. Actually, make sure you can see this. Sorry, just trying to make sure you can see what I'm doing. Okay, yeah, I should be in focus or in the frame again. Yeah, so mark down to 13. Oh, went too far. Stopping here, so I'm just gonna mark that I'm stopping here. It says there's a note here for tall figures, you go to 14 inches. I mean, I'm 5'8", but I'm also short-waisted, so I'm just going to leave it at 13. Then the next thing you're supposed to do is place corner 6 to the back center line. So the back center line, so it shows it here, is actually is the line, you started this line here between dot A and dot B, that's the back center line. So I'm putting corner 6. I'm gonna actually have to turn this the wrong way because I don't have room to draw the line otherwise. So it is gonna look, the template's gonna be backwards, FYI, don't do it this way. I just don't have room on the table to have it facing this way. There's just not room. Okay, so what you're going to do there is you are going to place corner 6 back center line and the long edge of the chart touching the dot you just made, and then draw a line from corner 6 in length to 1/4 inch of the hip measurement. So in this case, we're not doing the dress, and we're just doing the bodice part. If you were doing the dress, you would then continue down all the way. However, we're not doing that with this particular pattern piece. So what we're going to be doing instead is we're going to be ending at the same place that we ended over here. So I'm just going to draw a light line across. Now if you want to do the full dress, go for it. For what we're doing, we only just need the bodice. And what I can do in another video, not for this series, but in another video, I can actually do a full dress template if you want, because this does come in helpful, especially if you're going to do dresses, skirts, and trousers. So that will be another part. Otherwise, I just didn't want to, because we're only doing a top, I don't want to do the whole long dress part. It's just that it ends up being too long. So I just drew a line down here. We're not going to come down that far actually. As you'll see with this, it's not that long. And we'll get to that in a minute. So we're not going to come down for the hip part. What we're going to do is find where your natural waist is from dot 3, which is the bottom of the underarm hole. In my case, it's 7 inches from that point of my underarm down. So I'm going to measure down 7 inches and make a mark. So this is now where on this where we're going to end. So I'm just going to draw a line across here, and I'm going to join dot B, which is here, with that new line. So this would be for a bodice. We're not done yet though. Again, I'm just going to show you. Well, it came to, it's 1/2 inch longer, but my actual natural measurement there is 7 inches. So anyway, so there's that. Okay, so now we have a new end point for the down to the waist. And at this point now we're also going to be continuing to use the diagram for the back part. And from the natural waist, just mark that. Just, you know, it's good to put in notes so you understand what you did. So from there, you're going to go in 1 inch. So measure in 1 inch. Okay. And then according to the diagram, you're now going to draw from dot 3 into what is now dot 5. So let me just mark dot 5. Actually, I'm using the marker after all because it just is probably going to show up better in camera. Dot 5. And that is the new line for that. And that is, you're going to measure in 3.5 inches. Okay? And then you're going to measure down 1/4 of an inch. Here, yep, 1/4 of an inch. And then you're going to come over a bit, but anyways, we're going to join those dots. And then do that. And then there you are. You have your waistline. And that is for it for the back piece.